There is a specific kind of psychological comfort that hits you the moment you open the door to a luxury hotel room. The air smells clean, the sheets are crisp, and the space feels completely untouched. But the second you toss your suitcase onto the bed, that perfect order vanishes. This animation shows the sheer scale of the hospitality industry. A single room multiplies into a grid of over 3.5 million. That's the number of hotel rooms across the United States that have to be completely reset every single day. The logistical challenge is that hotels only have a tiny time frame to pull this off. It's known as the turnover window, the strict handful of hours between the morning checkout rush and the afternoon arrivals. Hitting that deadline day after day doesn't happen by magic. It requires a massive, synchronized manufacturing process disguised as hospitality. The orchestration of this process starts long before the cleaning staff hits the floor. It's led by the executive housekeeper, who manages the macro-level strategy for the entire building. They must manage enormous physical hotel inventories. Look at the industrial scale of this laundry operation. Thousands of pounds of linens flow continuously through heavy-duty machinery to ensure the floors stay supplied. The executive housekeeper also defines strict chemical standard operating procedures. They determine exactly when to use a basic surface cleaner for visual dust and when to deploy a hospital-grade disinfectant with a specific dwell time to kill bacteria. This rigid, systemic oversight has been the backbone of the industry for decades. In this historical photo, you can see a manager actively taking notes and inspecting the precise details of the bed-making process. Ultimately, the executive housekeeper takes complex operating budgets, inventory logistics, and chemical safety requirements and translates them into repeatable, actionable steps for the staff on the floor. Down on the floor, the physical work begins with a digital trigger. When a guest checks out, a ready for clean status hits the room attendant's assignment sheet. The attendant then deploys their housekeeping trolley. This is a highly organized mobile command center, loaded with exact ratios of chemicals, fresh linens, and specific cleaning tools. Relying on this specific mobile resupply method is a time-tested operational standard, as seen here in a vintage photo of a fully loaded housekeeping trolley. The process starts at the door with a mandatory 3 knocks rule. The attendant knocks and announces themselves to guarantee guest privacy and protect their safety before entering. Once inside, the first physical step is to completely strip used linens and open the windows. This immediately removes biohazards and ventilates the space before the detailed work begins. The actual cleaning follows a strict top-to-bottom, clean-to-dirty workflow. Notice in this 3D wireframe how the path starts at the ceiling vents, moves down to the surfaces, and finishes at the floor. This uses gravity to ensure dust never falls onto a space that's already been wiped clean. The tools themselves act as safety mechanisms. Looking closer at this room layout, the toilet zone is highlighted in red, mirrors in blue, and general surfaces in green. Attendants use corresponding color-coded cleaning cloths for each zone to build an absolute barrier against cross-contamination. By locking into this exact physical sequence, attendants can strip, sanitize, and reset the room quickly enough to beat the turnover clock without sacrificing hygiene or the brand's standards. Even when the attendant steps out, the room still isn't ready for a guest. It first has to pass the floor supervisor. The supervisor conducts a rigorous multi-point audit. They check hidden areas under beds, inspect the inside of AC vents, and verify that every amenity, down to the notepad and pen, is placed exactly where it belongs. Only if the room passes does the supervisor use their systemic authority to log into the management system and officially update the room's status to vacant clean. They act as the vital operational firewall, guaranteeing that the high-speed manufacturing side of the hotel flawlessly meets the consumer's expectations. This daily turnover is just the baseline. Hotels also run scheduled deep cleaning cycles, like intensive carpet extraction and HVAC clearing, to protect millions of dollars in physical property assets from degrading. In recent years, global events like the COVID-19 pandemic forced the hospitality industry to elevate these routines, merging traditional visual cleaning with hospital-grade environmental policies. Look at this environmental cleaning policy document. The procedure requires EPA-registered disinfectants for infectious microorganisms. Panning down the bulleted list, we see explicit instructions for high-touch surfaces, like door handles and light switches, requiring active mechanical friction rather than just visual tidiness. Hotels now bring these rigorous safety protocols out into the open. Detailed hygiene signage and a QR code are placed right on the desk, providing psychological reassurance for the guest, while a hazmat-suited worker operates in the background. So the next time you walk into a hotel room and appreciate that perfect, quiet stillness, you'll know exactly what it took to get there. It's the end result of a massive, invisible machine of highly trained professionals and precise chemistry and strict checklists, all working in perfect synchronization.